All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to JHouze Radio, episode 62. I am your friendly neighborhood um, black man, KJ, along with my amazing cohort, Los, up in the house. How's it
What's
going,
up? What's
Los?
up, people? What's
How
up?
you
What's up?
doing?
Not doing bad. I really can't say anything bad.
Awesome, awesome. Um, yeah, same here, man. I have one more. I think this is going to be my last podcast before they start renovation on my apartment. So
Renovation in your apartment. What are they doing?
they're going to be fixing. I'm getting a whole new kitchen. They're putting
Ooh,
up
that's
new
good.
windows. Yeah, it's really good. I'm getting a new fridge because my fridge sounds like a robot trying to run away from his death every couple 20 minutes. I just hear like in my kitchen
AJ,
is
no more ice cream, please.
no exactly exactly. That's exactly what it sounds like. So yeah, I'm getting a new fridge. I'm getting new like they're doing redoing the whole kitchen. I'm getting new windows in every room. So that's gonna be interesting.
Okay.
They're redoing the entire bathroom, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. So my place is going to be a mess for like 2 weeks. So
Yes, but you're gonna like the outcome, so it's worth it.
exactly. So hopefully by the time we do the next podcast, I should be good to go. If not, I'm gonna have to do it from my laptop. So that's gonna be fun.
Or if not, you're gonna go see like construction equipment all around you.
Exactly. Like here we go live from KJ's construction apartments. Do not mind
See this two
dust.
by four? See this 2x4? Hit me in the head 17 times today.
Don't mind the guys walking around in the background with the 2x4s. Don't mind them. They're just here for the content. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on. Appreciate everybody who's been watching us, checking us out. We are live on the Twitch side of things. We have our Twitch subs reactivated. So if you guys want to support the podcast through subbing to the channel, please do so. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, follow us, and check out our Patreon if you guys want to support the podcast that way to get your special benefits. And leave a review on the audio podcast side of things too. That helps us out in the algorithm.
Yes, it does. Yes,
Um,
it does.
let's jump into what we've been playing, watching, or listening to. If you have anything in that area, Los, I'm gonna let you go first because you seem pretty excited about what you're playing this week.
Yes, I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order. I had finished Ghost of Tsushima. Tsushima. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Susumu, Ghost of
Yeah,
Tsushima, yeah.
Susumi. Uh, I, I finished playing that game finally. And what kind of annoyed me is I was literally just up to like the last battle,
Okay.
and I had stopped there for like months, and then I picked it up again. I was like, oh, I'm at the last battle already. Did it?
How many hours did that take you?
I play a game for a really long time because I'm one of those people who just randomly explores the map.
Oh yeah, same here.
So can't do that in Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Like I just got sick of the game. Like I might pick it up again in like 3 years. Uh
Yeah, when the PS6 is out.
yeah, maybe the PS7. You never know. I didn't like the game. I think the whole Viking setting just didn't sit well with me. And I
Yeah,
really think that Ghost of Tsushima should have been Assassin's Creed Japan. It would have been perfect.
dude.
Finished playing that,
Yes.
and I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order, which I've had for a while. And I
Mhm.
started playing it, and I'm kind of on the border if I should keep playing it or not.
Oh, why? Are you serious? What's
Yeah,
going
I
on,
mean
man?
there are a lot of parts of it that are really good and really great, and it's challenging and figuring things out, and then just other parts that are just like you need to be a Jedi and use the Force to get past this one stupid little part that takes 5 seconds, and that
Oh
is the
man.
annoying part, bro. This and mind you, I just started this game. I think I'm on technically my third planet, and you have to slide down this ice thing, jump, grab a rope, and then run on a wall to reach a ledge. Doesn't sound difficult at all, does it?
Sounds fun
Yeah,
actually.
no. I've literally saw that respawn screen at least 20 times, and it is the most. I mean, you have to get your timing perfect. If
Yeah.
you're off by a fine angel cunt hair, you die.
I mean, yeah, I know exactly what part you're talking about because I died a lot in that part too. I mean, but you're still early, right? You're only like what, like a few hours in, right? I'm guessing.
Maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. Because
Still,
I don't play for a solid amount of time. I just go, I'm like, oh, I got half an hour. Oh, I got 20 minutes. Oh, I got
yeah.
15 minutes. And I'll play that. And then I'll just go back and forth. I mean, the game visually is beautiful.
It is a beautiful
Um,
game. Very beautiful game.
the the combat is relatively pretty straightforward. It's weird that he only uses a lightsaber. He doesn't use any blasters, so he's like 100% in that Jedi state of mind.
Yeah, I was actually a little. I mean, I'm still kind of early too. I was a little. I thought that was weird. I was like, how come we don't use guns? Because I like the gunplay. You know, I thought that would have been interesting to add that in
Yeah,
there.
but I kind of think it also forces you to be better at combat and to really think before you attack. So in that sense, it's really good.
Yeah.
Um, the this what I hate about it, but what I was told is Uncharted does this too. I think it's Uncharted,
Mhm.
where when you sit down and meditate or rest, everything you just killed respawns, and it's like son of a bitch.
I'm not sure. I don't think I haven't played Uncharted in so freaking long. But yeah, I think if you die, you respawn. Everything just kind of just comes back to life again.
Yeah,
So yeah,
so that's really frustrating,
yeah,
you know. And then when you come back, when you respawn at the last place you meditated. So that
yeah.
to me feels a little old school. Um, and it's even more frustrating when you're like, you know, it took me 10 minutes to get to that point before I died. And now you got to replay that last 10 minutes again and again and again and again
Yeah.
and again. And I'm like,
That was actually one of my downfalls about the game too. Is that yeah, there were so many times where I would die in a part, and like you get so far into that level that if you die, the checkpoint is so far back. I'm like, why is the checkpoint so far away? And like, I think that's one of the reasons why like there would be periods where I will play the game for like a few days, and then once I get to the point where I just keep dying and starting over like 20 minutes ago, I would just put it down. I'm like, all right, now I'm frustrated. I'm just gonna play it later. You know, so
yeah,
that is one of my gripes about the game is that the checkpoint is just way too far. It's a little ridiculous sometimes.
yeah. And isn't the actor who played in Jedi Fallen Order, wasn't didn't he also play the Joker in Gotham?
Yes,
Or
he
do they
did.
just look similar?
No, yeah, he played the Joker in Gotham. That's why when I saw him play that role, I was like, wow, that's a interesting role for him to play, a video game character and in Star Wars.
Yeah. I just hate the fact that he has short hair.
What in as a Joker?
No, 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 as the Jedi.
Really? That
Because
doesn't
yeah,
bother me.
because if you think about it, he works in a scrapyard, you know, like he doesn't really have access to a lot, but you know, someone still has time to line him up, you know, like that just that kind of bothers me a bit, you
I
know.
think that
That,
bothers me
that
yeah, that bothers me a lot about some movies and games that somebody's in this rugged world, but their shape up looks way better than mine.
exactly.
Always, you know. It's Hollywood, dude. What can we do, right? It's
But
Hollywood.
overall it's a good game. It's just very frustrating to me.
Yeah, I feel
You
you.
know, and I'm playing at the mid um level of difficulty, and
Okay.
it's frustrating me so much that I think for the part that I can't pass, I might literally just go to like, you know, like the lowest level just to get past it and go
Oh
back.
yeah, I feel you.
It,
Hey,
it
listen, man. We don't difficulty shame over here, okay? If you gotta play on the easiest difficulty, man, do what you gotta do,
yeah,
bro. You know.
yeah.
Are you watching or listening to anything, or is that pretty much it for you for this week
Uh
for your PWLs?
Watching, I am obviously Star Trek. I literally only watch two TV shows at a time that I can because I really don't have a lot of time. So
Yeah.
I'm watching Strange New Worlds. Today's episode was awesome. It was super funny. And I'm going to be watching The Orville once. Kira and I are going to watch The Orville as soon as we're done with the podcast. I'm running downstairs. We're watching The Orville. I've waited like 3 years or 2 years for season three, and I need to see it.
I saw the trailer. I guess it's on season 3 right now, right? Orville, I think.
Yes, season three.
I
Uh,
saw the trailer and I'm like, that looks slightly interesting. Like, because
well,
I knew it
here's the
was
thing.
out, but I just never watched it.
Here's the thing. Seth MacFarlane, you know, the creator of Family Guy and American Dad,
Yeah.
He is a huge Star Trek fan. Like he made Star Trek fans as a little kid. Star
Mm.
Trek fan films as a little kid. And at one point, he had approached Paramount by him taking over the Star Trek franchise. They denied him, and he said, pretty much what Bender said. Well, I'll make my own, with hookers and whiskey and blah blah blah.
Mm.
So he made his own, and it's actually better than Star Trek Discovery. It's better than Star Trek Picard, and it's on par with Strange New Worlds. So I'm excited to see what he does. Seasons 1 and 2 aired on Fox, so they very much have that strict television 45-minute format.
Mm.
But season 3 of The Orville is done on Hulu, so he has no time limit. The the first episode of season 3 is 70 minutes long, and
Jeez.
I think it's episodes. I think it's 5 and 6 or 4 and 5 are 97 minutes long each episode. So
Wow.
essentially, you have 10 movies of the Orville.
I've noticed that a lot of I've noticed that some TV shows are starting to do that more, and like their episodes are becoming longer. Kind of like and I'll talk about this in a minute too. Stranger Things. One of their episodes is an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's like these TV shows are getting big, and the budgets are getting bigger, and I don't know, man. Like TV shows are starting to get bulky. They really are.
I don't think it's that they've gotten bulky. Is they finally have the writers finally have the room to breathe and go, oh, this scene got cut for time, that scene got cut for time, this
Yeah,
storyline got cut for time, and now that isn't a factor. So now I think they're just enjoying the fact that they can do what they like,
that's
and
a good point.
I'm enjoying that idea. I'm really seeing, where the writers are pushing the ideas and where things go. I'm liking it.
That's a
It's
good
a
point.
certain
Yeah,
creative freedom that they're given.
that's good. I mean, because typically back in the day, the typical time for a TV show was 20 minutes. Like that's it, and that's not
Uh,
include. I mean, that's including commercials. Typically.
no, no. It is each commercial break is 9 minutes. So you have 43 minutes for a 1 hour TV show because of commercials, and you have 19 to 22 minutes on a half an hour TV show. So
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. For like the half-hour shows. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So but now, commercials aren't really that big of a thing. Pay $2, $3 extra a month and you don't gotta deal with commercials.
Exactly. True indeed. All right. So my PWLs this week. Playing wise, I'm not really playing too much right now, to be honest. I've just been so busy with trying to get my place ready. I really haven't had too much time to play anything. If anything, I'm playing just like random things here and there. I downloaded Roller Champions, which is like a skater basketball game for PS4,
Okay.
basically. So I just downloaded it, haven't played it yet. I'm gonna try it out later and see what it's like. I am watching Obi-Wan. Um,
I want us to review that when the series is over. I'm waiting for one
yeah.
more episode, and then I'm gonna binge like 5 episodes at once, and then I can wait for the rest. Because
Oh, you haven't watched it
or
yet?
is there six?
Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure actually.
If there's only six, I'll wait for it, and I'll just binge all of it.
It might be seven because it started off with two, so I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna be like seven, possibly eight, because they gave you the first two episodes already. So the first day they gave you the first two episodes. So now we're on episode 3 right now. So I'm caught up. I'm not going to talk too much about it. I don't want to spoil it for you or anybody in chat who hasn't seen it yet. But
You know me,
so
I love
far,
spoilers.
it's interesting. It's interesting. It's pretty good. But I know it's things that happen in that show that I can't spoil it. I just don't want to do it. I don't feel right doing that. So I'm not going to spoil it. I like it so far though. It's pretty good. I will say there are things and characters that popped up in that show that I really was not expecting. Um, but it's pretty good though. I'll definitely say that much. What am I listening to? I'm actually listening to the Stranger Things season 4 soundtrack, which is pretty much a bunch of music from like the 80s and
What's
like
on it?
uh uh geez, let me pull that up real quick for you guys, chat.
Well, if
Um
you've been listening to it, you should know at least one or two of the songs.
yeah, all right. So who sings that song from the opening of The Wedding Singer? You spin me right round
Dead or
me.
Alive.
Dead or Alive. That song's on there.
So they're around 1985.
Yeah, it's around like it's like early 80s, early to mid 80s, basically.
Okay, so then you're talking "You Spin Me Round." You're talking like "Girls Just Want to Have Fun."
That's on
What
there. That is on
else
there.
came
Yeah.
out in '85? So you might get some Michael Jackson in there if they probably had the got the licensing for it. You
They
get some
didn't get
Huey
any
Lewis in the
Michael.
news. No Michael, Huey Lewis in the news, like it's hip to be square and I need a new drug and things like that.
I'm gonna try to see if I can pull up the actual album list right now so I can just read everything off to you if I can find it. Yeah, I'm listening to that soundtrack. I love the show. That's actually on my recommendation for this week. It's really good. So I've just been in this like 80s mood of like just songs because just watching that show really put me there. So I'm listening to a lot of 80s stuff right now, basically. So um
Not that the '80s were a bad decade for music, because a lot of the influence from the '80s really pushed a lot of stuff in the '90s. But I think '80s is the greatest era of hip hop.
oh
Um,
yeah, agreed. Agreed. Hands down.
because you have a variety of hip hop. It isn't all just the same thing, you know. Like now, I think it's all the same thing. But I think '90s had much better music.
Some of the songs from Stranger Things 4, we got California Dreamin', Psycho Killer, Running Up That Hill. Love that song. I didn't even know I liked that song.
Who did that?
Kate Bush.
Okay, keep push.
Um, see what else do we got up here? I was a teenage werewolf, past the duchy, wipeout, object of my
Yeah, pass
desire.
the touchy on the left hand side. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Tarzan boy.
and here's the funny thing: people think that song is about smoking weed. It's not. It's about a cookie. There's a
Really?
cookie in Jamaica called a Dutchie. Yeah,
All
because
this
if you
time I thought it was about smoking weed.
listen to the lyrics, they're talking about being hungry.
Yeah, but I figured they were talking about being hungry because they were smoking.
No, 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 no. It's actually about a cookie.
Wow, that is a very interesting fact right there.
Okay. Pass the Dutchie. What's after that?
Pass the Duchy, Wipeout, Objective of My
Okay.
Desire, Rock
Mhm.
My Amadeus. No, I'm sorry,
Rock me Amadeus.
Rock Me
Rock me Amadeus.
Amadeus.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Rock me Amadeus. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Traveling Man, Tarzan
Okay.
Boy, Dream a
Okay.
Little Dream of Me,
Okay.
and that's all I got. That's all that's up here.
It's not bad.
A lot,
Some
a
good
lot of
hits,
classics.
some weird ones.
Yeah, yeah. So surprisingly, there was no Michael Jackson up there, which I was really surprised because Michael was the man back in the '80s. So
It's
yeah,
probably licensing problems.
probably, probably. All right, Los, let's jump into our random facts. I'm gonna let you go first, buddy.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Um, okay. The the best way to help a woman have an orgasm is for her to leave her socks on.
What?
Yes.
I
Forget
I can't wait to
lingerie.
hear this. Can't wait to
Okay,
hear
I'm
this.
going to read the fact to you. Forget
Okay.
lingerie. If you want to increase your chances of having an orgasm, keep your socks on during sex. Says research done by the University of it looks like Groningen. No one is sure exactly why this works, but the theory is that in order to orgasm, you need to be totally relaxed and anxiety free. And cold feet can interfere with the ability to get into sex, especially for women, says Fran Walfish, PhD, psychotherapist, and author.
Okay. I wouldn't think that keeping your socks on would really affect that,
Hey
but
man, just tell her, go, yo, I got this fantasy. Wear knee high socks. That's it. She's got the socks
listen,
on. It works.
for
It's a shortcut.
for any men who are in chat, like just keep that in mind, man. You let your woman know. Keep the socks on. All right, so my random fact, which is actually really interesting. I didn't know about this. If I can find it, my random fact is about Ted Bundy. Um, this is from facts.net. And I quote, after he got convicted, Bundy helped the police catch Gary Ridgway, also known as the Green River Killer. The police located Ridgway after Bundy's analysis of the killer's motivation and psychology. Bundy advised the investigators to wait for the killer to return to a fresh grave as he will most likely visit the police again. More interestingly, inspired the 1991 thriller movie The Silence of the Lambs.
Really?
Yeah, I did not know that. That was really interesting when I saw that. I love Silence of the Lambs, by the way. I thought that was a original story. But yeah, Silence of the Lambs was based on something that happened with Ted Bundy helping the FBI, which is pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
Did not know that. Um, all right, so let's jump into PlayStation State of Play that happened today. At the time of this recording, PlayStation dropped a bunch of trailers for some upcoming games that are coming out. It was pretty heavy on some VR stuff. PlayStation VR. Are you into VR, Los? Have you tried virtual reality
I've
stuff?
actually never tried it. I've been dying to try it. I've never tried it.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I had PSVR, well, the first PSVR headset. I played Resident Evil 7 in it, and it scared the crap out of me. Literally scared the crap out of me. I purposely stopped playing that game in VR because I couldn't handle it. So I just played it regularly, but it scared me.
Nah, man, you got to go take a shit beforehand, and then you play it in VR. You be all right. You be
Oh
all right.
man. But yeah, they showcase a lot of PSVR games. Like we had Resident Evil 4 remake, which is going to be supporting PSVR 2. Resident Evil 8, which is already out, it's going to have VR content. Horizon Call of the Mountain, PSVR. So I'm guessing we don't know when we're going to get the PSVR. It's probably going to drop. I'm guessing next year because it's too hard for people to get PS5s right now. So you need a PS5 to get a PSVR. So I could imagine that that's probably not going to drop till next year, more than likely.
I agree.
Uh, would you buy one? Like if you get your hands on a PS5, would you buy one?
I would. It really depends on the games for it. You know, like if we're talking horror games, I have no interest in horror games, so I wouldn't get it.
Okay.
But it had that's probably one of the ways I would play a first person shooter is with a VR headset.
I think that's the perfect way. Yeah, for sure. That is the perfect way to play a first person shooter. Um, so yeah, I mean, we'll see when that drops. We don't really have any date on that yet. They did show, and I'm gonna pull up a trailer for you, Los, because this is our game here. They did show a trailer for Street Fighter 6.
Oh, I
Uh,
love Street Fighter.
yes.
Love Street Fighter.
Um, I'm gonna try to pull the trailer up real quick so we can check this out. I don't know if you saw it yet. Did you see the trailer for Street Fighter 6 yet, Los?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Street Fighter 6. It looks like the release date for Street Fighter 6 is going to be in 2023. We don't have an exact date, but we know it's gonna be next year. And lucky for you, Los, it's still gonna be on the PS4. It'll be on the
Hell yeah.
PS4 and PS5. So, um, BK in chat said the scariest game in VR, in my opinion, is Outlast. Outlast is pretty creepy. I didn't know it was in VR though. I had no idea that it was in VR. Um, but yeah, it looks Street Fighter looks pretty much like the same. I think they're adding some new aspects to it. Like it's gonna be like a hub where you can like kind of walk around. I'm guessing you're going to be able to customize just like you've already done before in previous games. It looks like it might be more customization. So yeah, Street Fighter looks good. Yeah, Ryu with facial hair looks very intimidating.
He
Looks very
does. He
intimidating.
really does.
He looks like he's gonna kick your ass for sure.
Gives
Um,
you kind of that John Wick feel.
yeah, true, true. So yeah, we'll see how that looks. We gotta look at Stray, which is the indie title that's gonna be coming to PS5 that everybody's been waiting for. Which
The
is gonna
cat.
be Yeah, the cat adventure game, which is going to be on PlayStation Plus, their new PlayStation Plus service that they're doing. It's going to be already on that service. So if you have PlayStation Plus, you won't have to worry about buying it. Spider-Man Remastered is coming to PC. PlayStation is diving more into putting more of their main titles on PC, which is going to be good for the PC audience.
Now, is
Um,
this the Marvel's Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man?
yeah, the one we got before Miles Morales, basically. So
The one in the same universe as Miles Morales.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that
yeah, that's great. That's a great game.
Yeah, that game's finally coming to PC. I know a lot of people are going to be super excited about that for sure. I still haven't played Miles Morales, dude. Still haven't played
What?
it. I know. I still haven't played it yet, dude.
Dude, it is a short game.
Yeah.
you'll burn through like if you have a weekend of doing nothing, you'll burn through it in a weekend.
Yeah.
Like if you only play an hour a day, in under 2 weeks, you're done. It's a short game.
Oh wow.
It's so short. It is so short that once you beat the game, you're like, oh, I thought there was more.
I've actually heard people say that literally that same exact thing. Like, oh well, I thought there was gonna be more to the game and it was over, and I was like, oh okay, I guess I'm done now.
It's good though. It's good. It's a good game. It's worth the play, but I just kind of feel like it feels like it was almost a filler game. So they do uh Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah, which I cannot wait. That's supposed to be coming out next year, which I completely forgot it was coming out next year. So I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we just got a bunch of looks at like a bunch of different trailers, from State of Play. I think the main thing I'm looking for coming out of this is Street Fighter 6. Like that's our game. So I'm looking forward to that. Resident Evil 4 remake. Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games, so that game getting a remake is awesome, especially in VR. Um, and I'm really excited about PSVR too. I just want to see what this thing is going to be, how much it's going to cost, when is it dropping. I am all in on VR, all in. So I'm ready for it.
I think that Stray game would be good in VR.
That actually might actually be pretty cool in VR.
Yeah.
That might
Um,
actually be pretty cool.
I will say this. I think when Street Fighter 6 comes out, once we get a copy, we should definitely stream some gameplay on that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like day one, for
Yeah,
sure. Once that
absolutely.
drops, because I saw that I was like, oh yes, we got some gameplay. Let's go. So I could imagine it's probably, hopefully, going to be pretty soon because they gave us an extensive look at it.
Yeah.
So all right, so the next topic we're gonna jump into, and we'll touch base on it really quick because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Johnny Depp, uh, he got the W today, Los. Well, not today, but recently he
Oh,
got the W.
and guess what? It happened on National Narcissist uh Awareness Day or
Oh,
Narcissist. Yeah. It's like National Narcissist something
narcissistic.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's about people who suffered from narcissism. Like not like like they have it, people who
yeah.
have had a narcissist person in their, in a relationship with, and they've suffered because of it, which I think is just kind of funny.
That's kind of ironic. That's very ironic.
The funny thing for me about the verdict was Johnny Depp wasn't even there.
I didn't even watch the last day of the trial. He wasn't there.
He wasn't there. He was in England.
Oh, that's why I was like, how did he get? Because he was doing a concert over there, right? I think.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
with his band. Um, and what I like is Amber Heard's just sitting there like all pissed. She's trying not to show it,
Wow.
And then when the whole verdict was when after the verdict was done being read and everything else,
Yeah.
uh, Amber Heard's lawyers was like, can all of them vote on this and see if it's actually what they said? And they're all like, yes, 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 yes. They're like, okay, it's done. So Amber just hugged the one female lawyer, and the rest of them were just kind of like shuffling papers, like, I look busy, I want to get out of here. And they, uh,
I look
well,
busy. I want to get out of here.
yeah, especially the guy, I forget his name. One of Amber Heard's lawyers, the guy who was like the most aggressive,
Yeah.
he was standing behind, and he was standing in the rear table, and he was just like, and you see him like taking the same papers in and out of the folder, just to kind of look busy to
It's
get
like,
out of there.
yeah, let me just not just let me just do this so I can hurry up and get out of. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. I just kind of think that these guys got into um, Amber lied to them, and they kind of got stuck with the case,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Yeah, we got to go through with this," you know.
Jeez.
So, and it's good, and I'm glad that happened, and I'm also glad it happened, so the Me Too movement can understand that Me Too can also be for men. Me
Yeah,
too.
that's
I have suffered this. Unfortunately, it is always anyone can make an accusation, and 99.999% of the time they'll believe the woman and not believe the man. Okay.
yeah.
Um, and I just kind of think that this kind of woke people up to, yes, this can also happen to a man. He can also be me too, you know.
I agree.
And the thing is, I think Amber Heard kind of like what she did. I think will affect the Me Too movement, and if or not kill it, because there are so many women that are apologizing currently on YouTube, on Twitter, and this, that, and the other thing. They're like, when it first came out, I only believed her, and this, that, and the other thing. And they're apologizing. They're like, oh, Amber lied, and this, that, and the other thing, and blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, you got to look at both sides.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this much from a media standpoint, she put up a really good lie.
I agree. I agree. I mean, that's one thing I was talking about when I found out that he won. I was like, man, this is a good win for men who go through situations like this with women and just automatically just get the backhand because they're a man.
Yeah.
Granted, I know some women go through stuff and they get the backhand because they're just a woman. I get that part, but this is big, man, because stuff like this happens all the time. And sometimes the court system would just look at a guy and just throw him in the book. It was like, well, she said this. I'm pretty sure it probably did happen because you're a man, she's a woman, and we're just gonna lean towards her side just because of that statistic, of
Yeah.
how it is. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just glad, like, at the end of the day, it's not just like, oh, well, let's just, not believe women out there, let's just go for the man. I'm just glad that overall, because of the kind of case that it was, usually it's favored for women. I'm glad that it was a fair trial. You know what I
Yes.
mean? They gave
Yes.
both sides a party. I mean, they gave both sides a chance to, give their side of the story, and they gave them an equal opportunity in the case. So that's what I'm excited about.
And I
So
think a lot of the case has to do with the judge, the way the judge treated the case. I think she was very fair, very impartial, very clear on her instructions. Um, sometimes would overrule an objection
yeah,
because she felt like you objected too soon. Let's see what they have. You know,
yeah,
uh,
exactly.
I really do think they picked a good judge. I think it was done very well. Both sides put up a big fight. I will say that, but it's as the case went through, like you saw Amber Heard's lawyers kind of like, let me try to raise a spectacle to try to win this case. But the weird thing I found out was Johnny Depp was awarded 15 million, and Amber Heard was awarded 2 million. So really, Johnny's only going to get 13 million because he's going to say, well, take the 2 million I owe you out of the 15 that you owe me.
True, true. I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think this is gonna mess with her career, man. To be honest,
No, her career's done. She's done. Who wants to
yeah.
work with her?
At least for now. Like I don't. I think in the long term, maybe you should be able to do some stuff. People will forget about this
No.
eventually.
Look at Pee Wee Herman. Okay, perfect example is Pee Wee Herman. He got caught jerking off in a porno theater, and it pretty much ended his career for over, like, I think it was for 15, 16 years. And then he started getting small bit roles as his real self, Paul Rubens. And then eventually nostalgia kicked in and he was able to do Pee Wee again. But I think there are just certain cases that people will not forget because so many people went into this believing Amber Heard. And as the court case went through, they were like, oh, I'm on the wrong side and switched over to Team Johnny.
Yeah, yeah, true. Team Johnny all the way, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Too bad he's not going to do any more Captain Jack Sparrow roles. I think he said he was done. So
He said he'll
sucks.
never work for Disney again. And I don't blame him.
Yeah, that sucks. I love him as Jack Sparrow. So
But you know
um,
what? It's also kind of a thing where the series kind of ended where it should end. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's only so much of that same type of story you can push because if you look at it historically, you know, piracy was only really big in the Caribbean for like 20, 30 years in that Pirates, Blackbeard, Pirates of the Caribbean
yeah,
type of thing. And there's only so much you can kind of do there
yeah.
before it's no longer like the glory days of piracy. What are they going to do? Like, oh, I stole a battleship and now this is my pirate. So I think
Yes.
it got off at a good point,
Yeah.
but they're also going to do two spin-offs of it. So
I think a spinoff will be good. As far as the main story, yeah, I think the main story is done. It would have been nice to see like a separate Jack Sparrow story, but if they're as far as the main story, yeah, I think it was done like after like what part three? What
The
is it like
only way
five now?
the only way they can continue it would be if the next one, with keeping Jack's name alive, the Jack Sparrow name,
Yeah,
would be if it starts out with them burying Jack Sparrow and it's Jack Sparrow Jr.
I can see that actually. That's kind of sad, but I can see that.
Yeah.
um, all right, the next thing I want to jump into real quick is Mission Impossible 7. Tom Cruise is back. Uh did you see the trailer for Mission
Yes.
Impossible 7?
Yes.
It looks freaking amazing. That's literally all I can say about it. It looks amazing. I think
And
at
you know who's in
first,
it too, right?
what's up?
You know who's in it too, right?
Who's in it?
The actress who plays Peggy Carter.
Did I did I not see that in the trailer? Was that in the trailer?
Yeah, it was in the trailer. That's how come I
I
know.
I'm about to pull it up for you, chat,
Pull it
real
up. Pull
quick
it up. You're gonna see her. She's there.
because that's
Unless my eyes
interesting.
are lying to me, she's there.
I think your eyes are lying to you, Los. They're lying. You don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, Mission Impossible 7 is coming out. Like the first few Mission Impossibles, I thought they were pretty good movies. I don't think I became a big Mission Impossible guy until like maybe the last two movies, and then I really started liking the series. I don't know why. It was I guess maybe the stories that they were telling were just really captivating me a little more than the earlier stories. Um, but yeah,
Well,
this one looks good, man.
here's a question for you. Did you watch the original Mission Impossibles, the ones from the 60s?
No, I didn't.
No?
I no, I didn't. I didn't even know that that was even the thing.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
The Mission Impossible movies are movies from the original 1960s TV show.
I didn't even know there was a 1960s Mission Impossible.
Dude, how could you not know?
I
It
just
was like
did. I just didn't know. I thought it was just. I don't know. I just
that
didn't know.
it ran in reruns for so long. I think it beat Star Trek with the amount of stations and times it was played.
Wow. Yeah,
Dude, if
I did not know that.
you
That's
can
a.
even catch it on streaming. If you watch the original Mission Impossible, and the thing about Mission Impossible was too is they were one of the first shows in the 60s that had a black man as a regular cast member, okay? And I believe he did all their tech stuff. So
Mhm.
you have a black man, not only is the main cast member, he's smart, he's not subservient to anybody, he's part of the team, he's treated as an equal, and things like that. And Mission Impossible did that. Leonard Nimoy at one point, the guy who plays Spock, was on that show.
Mhm.
Um, did you see that Johnny Depp movie where what was the name of the director?
I'm not
Ed
sure.
Wood. Ed Wood. You ever see Ed Wood?
No, I don't think I have. No.
Oh, God, you're missing a great movie. The guy who plays Bela Lugosi in Ed Wood, he was also Mission Impossible. The whole idea of, good evening, Mr. Phelps. This is the mission if you choose to accept it, all came from that TV show.
Wow, I didn't know that. Oh, I do see Peggy Carter. She was in the car with him. Okay,
Told you.
I didn't, I didn't catch it because everything was just going so fast that I didn't catch it. But then again, she's also in a close up scene. I just didn't pay attention to it. I guess.
There's a shot of her face right there.
Yeah, I wasn't I was so enamored by like the everything that was happening. I just didn't catch it. I only saw the trailer once too, so I think if I would have watched it a few more times before this, I would have realized probably. Um, what are the odds? Do you think? And now our background is green, guys. Don't worry about the background right now. Technical difficulties. It's probably going to change colors like every 5 seconds, but you know what? That makes the show interesting. Um, do
I'll agree
you
with that.
do you think Tom Cruise did that like on the last shot of the trailer? Do you think Tom Cruise did that stunt himself where he like jumped off the mountain with the bike?
I don't think so. I think he would not be allowed to do it for insurance reasons, and that's the
Oh,
only reason why I think he didn't do it.
okay.
Uh, he was going to play Tony. He was going to play Iron Man in the Illuminati scene,
Yeah.
originally, but he could not break away from Mission Impossible to do that scene.
I would love to have seen Tom Cruise as Iron Man.
Oh, it would have been.
Dude, I think the arena would have, I mean, the arena, I think the movie theater would have exploded if
Yes.
people saw that.
I mean, think about it. They exploded when they saw Professor X.
Yeah, dude, that blew my mind. I was so excited about that. I was so excited about seeing Professor X. I've been wanting some X-Men content for the longest, and that's the closest we got since Logan. So that was freaking good for me. But
My favorite part was the fact that he used the cartoon music.
yeah, and the yellow chair too. I like
Yep.
that. So yeah, Mission Impossible 7, man, looks good. I mean, I like the last one. 6 was probably my favorite Mission Impossible next to the first one.
Mine
This
is
one looks crazy. Which one?
Ghost Protocol. My favorite. Ghost Protocol.
I was okay with that
It's
one.
the fourth one.
I was okay with that one. I wasn't really too crazy about that one. Um,
The last one with Henry Cavill was good, but I just kind of felt like it went on a little too long, you
you think
know.
so,
And I
really?
was, yeah, just if you would have just chopped out 5 or 10 minutes, I think I would have liked it a lot better.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait. Next year, Mission Impossible 7, part 1 apparently. So I'm guessing we obviously going to get a part 2, so looking forward to it for sure. Um this next story that we're going to jump into, I'm going to let you take the lead on this one, Los.
Wait, hold on. Which one is it?
Censorship in regards to streaming services is getting a little out of hand. It's getting a little
Uh,
crazy.
it is. It is really getting out of hand. I just kind of feel that okay, the companies are covering their ass, and if they don't cover their ass, there isn't going to be somewhere you could stream from or play a video or what have you. But at the same token, the internet was built on everyone is equal, everyone can speak their mind, everyone can say what's on their mind, and the censorship kind of there comes a point where the censorship is brutal, and I think we are starting to come to that point. Like a good example is there is on Legends of Tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
They have a character called Isis, okay? And Isis is one of the gods, one of the Egyptian gods, but they weren't allowed to say that word because of Al Qaeda. So,
Really?
yes, yes.
Wow. Okay.
There was even a TV show about that character in the 70s, you know?
Hmm.
And because of that, you couldn't say that. If you talk about a certain subject, let's say you want to talk about domestic violence. If you mention that, oh my God, you're censored because you said that. You know, so
Yeah.
you've got to use the other acronym. I think it's called like RV or something. Like relationship violence or intimacy violence or something like that.
Yeah.
Some
Domestic
sort
violence. Yeah.
no. There's even another level of that where you can't
Oh,
even say
wow. Really? You can't even say domestic violence?
domestic violence. You got to say the initials, or you got to say another word for it. And it's just getting to the point where like let people talk. I'm not talking
Let
about,
people
and
talk.
I can understand why they're doing this, trying to stop people from spreading hate speech and things like that. And I do
Yeah.
understand the reasons behind it, but
Hmm.
there comes a point where you have to let go a little bit. So when someone does actually violate the rules seriously, those are the people you can cut off. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I
Uh,
agree.
uh, a good example, if we spoke about like racism in America, okay,
Hmm.
and we use some of the words that they used to kind of tell a story or to quote somebody on something they did, we would be banned for that, but we're not talking about hate speech, we're talking about history. You know what I'm trying to say? Like at
Yeah.
a certain point, there has to be a little bit of a give. Even if you just throw up a disclaimer, we're talking about history, we're using quotes, things like that. So when people jump in the middle, it's on the screen. So they know what it is.
Speak
I just
speak
kind of feel like it's gone a little too far.
Speaking of that, there's a scene in Stranger Things, the very first scene, the very first episode. Stranger Things dropped last weekend, which was a few days after the school shooting in Texas. Um, right before, like as Stranger Things came on, came on, they give a disclaimer and says, "This beginning scene, because of the shooting in Texas, this beginning scene might be a little hard for people to watch." And it said that because the beginning scene showed a bunch of kids who were dead, basically. So they gave a disclaimer just in case anybody felt uncomfortable, because they probably would have said, "Oh, well, it's too soon. We just had a kid shooting. Why are you showing us dead kids?" So that, like, they did it in a smart way. Like, I feel like maybe a few months down the line, like, could it be a chance that people will try to go up against Netflix and say, "Well, you need to take Stranger Things down or ban it in certain countries because showing dead kids is just not good," so on and so forth. I won't be surprised if Netflix gets some kind of backlash later for that.
Well, this shooting has brought up a lot of interesting things. One, China is asking some world organization to cite America for violence in schools. They're bringing up an international case against the states because of violence in schools.
Wow.
And I was thinking about what's going on.
Hmm.
And now we're at the point where these kids who are doing school shootings, we're now trained in how the students react to school shootings.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
they're actually, the children are now better trained in what goes on during school shootings than the police department is.
I mean, I feel like it kind of has to get to that, like, it has to get to that point now. I mean, look at how things are, you know?
Yeah, but now these students who go off the deep end and do these shootings are now trained just as well as these kids, and they know what the standard operating procedure is and how things work in a school shooting.
Yeah.
That is scary. That is incredibly scary.
Yeah. True indeed. True indeed. I mean, I don't know. I guess there's not really any one answer fits all for this kind of situation. It's, I don't know. It's like you go left,
Bro,
somebody goes right. You go up, somebody goes down. You
the
know.
problem with school shootings is this is that there's too much money involved behind the scenes. The NRA pays so much money to so many politicians, so things don't get passed that are reasonable. Um, I hate Donald Trump, but even Donald Trump himself had said during the school shootings, when he was president, he goes, and I saw this recently, and I was like, holy crap, he actually made sense. He
Yeah.
goes, these AR-15s need to be bumped up in age when you can get it, because you can get an AR-15 before you can get a handgun. You can get an AR-15 before you can get a license in some states. And
Jeez.
he was making all these, and I'm like, Trump made valid points. Holy crap, you know?
Trump made valid points.
Yeah, like your image of Trump is always very negative because of so many things he's done.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Trumper by any which way, shape, form, creed, or what have you.
Yeah.
I thought he was the worst president we ever had. But even an idiot is a genius every once in a while,
Yeah.
you know. And he made those points and nothing happened. And a lot of this stuff is NRA pushing money towards politicians, and it just changes things because the Second Amendment is not about um, people owning rights. It's about allowing the government to form militias to defend the country. And that's why people have the right to own weapons. It's not about, yeah, I'm going to own 500,000 guns. No,
Yeah.
you know. And these same people who quote, the Second Amendment can't name the other ones.
Of course. I'm just gonna name the one that I like. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's violence in the country is affecting everything we do, man. Just like we said, it's affecting even our content that we're getting on TV. You can't say certain things. They're going back and taking a lot of scenes out of certain movies. Disney took out blood from the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show. There was a scene where somebody was bleeding. They went back and they took blood completely out of the scene. There was a movie, I think it was Iron Man 2. It might have been Iron Man 2. Probably not. But no, actually I think it was a Luke Cage episode where a guy calls calls a white guy some name. I forgot what name it was, but it was like a racially offensive name. And they went in and they took that word out of that scene. So it's getting to the point where it's like now it feels like if you're telling stories about a character and you want that character to feel natural, you have to be willing to understand that this is art, this is film, and characters are going to act as if they would act in real life, and
Yeah.
that's just what it is. But if you're taking that away, then like you're taking away somebody's creativity. You're not allowed to be that character. If somebody is a brutal killer in jail, of course they're going to talk with disrespect. They're not going to talk with manners. Of course they're going to be offensive. They're not going to be nice. So I'm worried about what streaming as simple and at ease as it is. I feel like there could be a chance that it could be a problem for creatives. I mean, like some creators going forward, because now they're worried that their art is going to be tampered with.
I there was okay. There was this famous case of an artist. He was a gay artist, okay, and all his artwork was considered offensive by Christian groups,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and he brought it all the way up to the Supreme Court, saying that you cannot be the judge of what art is. Art is subjective. Art is each individual person has the right to say something is art or not art. And if a person want a grant, they want a grant. You can't tell them how to spend that money to make their art. They won the grant, they were awarded it, they're allowed to do it. So this Supreme Court case, and this was late 80s, early 90s. Believe me, I wish I could remember the case.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it talked about, and he won the case. So it was 7 artists altogether that were involved in this. And they won the case, and that allowed, it was another notch in the freedom of speech for artists and how you can't censor art. And this is just getting to the point of ridiculousness when you're taking out blood. I mean, isn't that part of the story? You know,
Exactly. That's what I
when
said.
you want to make a character unliked, you allow them to use verbiage that is not used by a normal, decent person. So
Exactly.
you, as an audience member, can hate that character or dislike that character more.
Yeah.
I mean, there comes a point where things need to stop and you need to let things fly. Not every movie can be rated G. You need movies that are rated R. You need movies that are rated X for violence. So you can honestly say, that's not for me. I'm going to go to what I like.
Exactly.
Or this is for me and I'm going to watch this because it's what I like. There has to be a limit to it. Even if it is age verification. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Um, Parental controls on your streaming service. There has to be
That's
a midway point.
that's what Disney did. Disney added a age limit verification thing on their streaming platform. But yet they're censoring Luke Cage, they're censoring Falcon and Winter Soldier. But it's like, why do that? You already have an age verification for one, and for two, you have Hulu. Disney owns Hulu. If you have something that's a little bit more vulgar or a little bit more violent, put it on Hulu. Like that's kind of counterproductive. So you put it here, you have an age verification, but yet you're still censoring it. Why?
And the other thing is too is like if you censor things too much, like you could not tell the story of Falcon and Winter Soldier if you whitewash it. Whitewash is probably the wrong word for it. If you over censor, if you censor it too much,
Yeah.
because there are topics in there that are really touchy. You know, there are topics in there where people of color, minorities can relate to. You can't sweep that under the rug and say, "Oh, it doesn't exist." It does exist. The stories need to be told.
Exactly. Exactly. Legion in chat said, saying for Canada, they are seizing guns in
But
Canada, I'm guessing.
in
So,
Canada too, though, it's like their gun laws are way stricter than the US's. You
yeah,
know, um, maybe a little too much, but at the same time, is what normal citizen needs an automatic weapon?
I mean, I get it. I mean,
Is
some people will
the deer gonna
say,
shoot back? Is the deer going to shoot back? Is the turkey going to shoot back? No. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like
could you
I,
imagine a deer walking around with a vest? Like,
I am the woods.
wow. I'm done. On that note, we're moving to the next topic. I am the woods. That was actually kind of funny, Lois. I give you that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was funny. Jeez Louise, I can't even think straight now.
You're running into the to the field screaming for Bambi.
Jeez Louise. Oh man. All right. So last topic I want to jump into real quick. Obi-Wan. We talked about it before. You haven't watched it yet. There is a main character in the show Obi-Wan. The actress name is Moses Ingram. What character does she play, Los? Let me see.
She plays one of the Inquisitors. I couldn't tell you what the name of the character is, but she does play an Inquisitor. Essentially, dark force users who are neither Sith nor Jedi, but were trained to hunt Jedi. And the idea of, well, the first time you saw Inquisitors was in Star Trek Rebels.
Oh, really?
And
I didn't know that.
yeah,
Okay.
and they're just made. They some of them were Jedi who through torture and things like that became um Inquisitors. Some were the younglings from the Jedi Temple that
Mm-hmm.
become that they grabbed and they turned them into Inquisitors. And some were just people who were force sensitive that they grabbed and they turned to Inquisitors and were trained by Darth Vader himself. According to lore, legend, and comics,
Okay.
that's who the Inquisitors are.
Okay.
And the thing that annoys me about it is a repeat of Finn.
Yes. So, well, let's break it down to the people who might not know what's going on. So obviously, yes. She has been getting like racist threats and things like that on social media, just for no reason, just for I guess just being a black character in the Star Wars show. She posted some of those threats and racial slurs on Instagram. I think she took it down. I think it might have been like her stories or something. She took it down now, I'm guessing. And yeah, she was kind of pissed off about it, and I don't blame her. A lot of the actors in Disney itself just put posts on social media saying that they're behind her, they're here to support her, so on and so forth. Um, but I
Lucas
just
even released a comment, even
uh,
a statement that says they support her. She's part of the Star Wars family.
yeah, exactly. So it's like it's ridiculous, man. Like you said, we had the same issue with the character Finn from the most recent Star Wars films, and this just keeps happening. Every time we get a black character in Star Wars, somebody has something to say.
Or
Why?
Asian. Or Asian.
Or Asian. Like black characters and Asian characters have been in Star Wars for so many years. Why is this still a problem?
He, by the way, the Asian is Kelly Marie Tran. That it was so bad that she was harassed so bad online that she killed all her social media accounts. That's how bad
Yeah,
it was
that
for her.
the character from which Star Wars was that?
The last three of the Skywalker saga.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I forgot.
Now,
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
here's the thing: you're telling me that in Star these people um have room for hundreds of kinds of aliens, but don't have room for a black man, a black woman, an Asian man, or an Asian woman?
At least one. At least one.
Like, hello, humans come in all shapes and colors,
Yeah.
period. You
Uh,
know, I,
Legion in chat says, "Don't forget about Jar Jar, the actor who played Jar Jar Binks." Did you know about
oh,
that one, Los?
I feel so bad for him, man.
What happened with that?
Oh my God. Well, Jar Jar was a hated character, right?
Mhm.
And the actor who played him got so much hate mail, and most was for his portrayal of Jar Jar Binks, and the rest was the fact that he was a black man. But you never saw the actor. Never.
Wow. That's
He
even
was
worse, dude. That's even
he was
worse.
shot for like 2 seconds in the bar scene.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it was in the second one, the second of the prequels,
Okay.
where Obi-Wan and Anakin go into a bar to look for somebody.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, he was in it for 2 seconds. That's the only time you saw him. And I don't understand why these people could accept Jabba the Hutt, but can't accept Finn and this girl. I don't get it.
The the
I
the part that the part that's annoying, and I don't even think people really even I don't think people remember or realize or just aren't thinking about it. You forget that Darth Vader, one of the most iconic characters in pop culture, is voiced by a black man.
Yes,
People forget that. But
Lando
I
Cal-
get
Lando Calrissian, the whore of Star Wars, is a black man.
the horror Star Wars. Yeah, I don't understand it, man. It goes back to what we said about, in a sense, to like censorship. People feel like they own these properties. They feel like they have the right to go threaten actors online who at the end of the day are just doing what they love. At the end of the day, just doing their job. They're able to live their dream and be in Star Wars. Like if you're an actor and you get to be in a Star Wars film, like that's a dream right there. You know what I mean? These guys are living their dream.
Listen, I won't say I can support it, but I can understand someone be upset if they suddenly cast Luke Skywalker as, let's say, an Indian man. You know,
Hmm.
they're like, "Oh, but that's not Luke Skywalker." Okay, granted, I can maybe give you that.
Hmm.
You want
Yeah.
an actor who looks like the original, I
Yeah.
can give you that, but it's not always necessary. In Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, um, there is Admiral April, Robert April,
Hmm.
who originally was portrayed as a white man. Now it's portrayed as a black man.
Hmm.
Okay. And people were taken back not because a black man played it. They're like, oh, why'd you choose him? You know? But
Yeah.
if you watch the series, you're like, oh, they picked the best actor for the part. And he's
And
fine.
that's just how it should be though. Like that's like what does it matter if it's a black woman, black guy, like Asian man, Asian woman, like who cares as long as they can play the part and they're not taking away from your beloved franchise.
But
Why?
here is also the other thing is, and I know this because I, you know, heard about this beforehand. There is a scene in Obi-Wan where they show Order 66,
Hmm.
and this one Jedi takes all these younglings and tries to help them escape.
Yeah.
One of the characters there is this little black girl, and the rumor is that that little black girl is going to be this Inquisitor when she grows up.
Oh.
So again, that's just fan speculation, but
Yeah, yeah.
that makes sense story wise, you know. And I just kind of think these are just people who are being ignorant. Like it's science fiction. It's
Dude, yeah,
make believe.
exactly.
Who cares? Make believe.
It really is. Like it's the most geekiest make believe franchise of all time. And you're sitting here giving a grown woman, a hard time because she's black in Star Wars. Get
I I
over it, man. Get
I
over
could
it.
understand um them hating her performance because
Yeah,
that happens.
yeah, of
But
course.
not because
Exactly. If there's a character that you just hate, you don't like, or you don't like the performance, you could have your opinions. No, I'm not saying that you can't have your opinions, but to sit here and message the woman behind the character, she's not that character for real. Like you're messaging the woman behind the character.
Dark Legion in chat made a perfectly good point. Samuel L. Jackson was in Star
Exactly.
Wars, and no one
Exactly.
said anything about him.
I don't know, dude. It's just it's getting annoying to the point where people, like I said, they think they own these franchises and they think they have the right to sit here and message the people who are playing these roles, threaten them and throw racial slurs at them. It's like, dude, who are you, man? Like you have no
Bro,
right to do that.
put me in charge of Star Wars. You know what I would do? I'll make a series with nothing but black and brown people as the main characters, as the story, and make the white guy the bad guy just to piss these people off.
Yeah, and then
I can do
people,
because
you would get you would get so much hate mail, dude. You really
good.
would.
Let him hate me. But you know what though? You know what though? It's representation, and the people who watch that and who are like, oh, I can see myself on screen, will love it and appreciate it. And it's for those people that you need to show other races, creeds, colors, and religions on screen. Period.
All right, so let's jump into some questions from our poll on Twitch that we have here. Dark Legion left a question in our poll relating to our Street Fighter topic. One more thing on Street Fighter. Do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to microtransaction the heck out of the game, or what is your guys' opinion on and why?
You should start.
Um, I think I don't know. Was Street Fighter Five really microtransaction out? Did they have a lot of microtransactions in that one? I don't
Nobody did
remember.
transactions.
Um, I probably. I don't know if it'll be like an insane amount of transactions. I think it'll be a decent amount to be fair, like because obviously I don't think the game's going to be free to play. So probably just little things here and there, like some fighter packs, some colors, some skins. Maybe they'll do like some DLC. I think you'll get more so DLC than you'll get like microtransaction out, but I could be wrong. What about
Yeah,
you, Los?
I honestly think that there will be some in it because that is the new model of
Of
the
gaming.
industry.
Yeah,
Gaming.
basically.
I
Yeah.
think there will be some, but I don't think there will be a lot.
Yeah.
I think they'll kind of nickel and dime you for the small stuff and tell
Hmm.
you, hey, listen, instead of paying, and I'm picking numbers out of my ass, $100 to get these all individually, pay $40 and get them all.
True.
You
True.
know, I kind of think that is more likely to happen than anything else. But I do think there will be some microtransactions because that's just the way the industry is.
True. At the end of the day, people gotta eat too. Game developers gotta eat, man.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so yeah, I mean, anybody watching this live on Twitch, don't forget if you guys use the channel points, you guys want to submit a question for us to answer on the actual stream on the podcast, just use your channel points to submit a question. Let's jump into our recommendations before we get out of here. Los, you have any recommendations you want to leave with the people?
Honestly, the only real recommendation I have is um, Strange New Worlds, as always, and the Orville. But I love the Orville in seasons 1 and 2, and season 3 is supposed to be like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna watch it right after this, and I that's my recommendation. And again, it's about the future, and you know,
I
we're
think
there.
you, I think you said you wanted me to do like a
Strange New Worlds review.
Strange New Worlds review. Yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to doing that because I haven't really gotten to Star Trek in like so freaking long. So I'm actually looking forward to actually trying to review it and hopefully I do it justice for you.
Well,
Hopefully.
honestly, I just think that the topics that they cover and the fact that Star Trek is very much about equality, you know,
Yeah.
I think it'll be a breath of fresh air for you. And I just kind of think that you'll enjoy it because there isn't the little nag of, so and so can't do this because they're X, Y, or Z, or they don't typecast somebody because they're X, Y, and Z. I just kind of feel like you'll enjoy that breath of fresh air, and the storylines are actually really good. I think you'll have a lot of questions of why is this and why is this and why is that,
Hmm.
like technology wise or the origins of certain stories, but I think you'll really enjoy it. And I would love to do a science fiction review of Strange New Worlds.
What episode is that on right now?
5.
Okay, okay.
5 out of 10. 4 out of
So
10.
should I wait to like actually try to binge it like or is it almost over or
You're about halfway through. So I personally think you shouldn't binge it only because I don't think you'll have the time to binge it straight through. I
okay.
think you should just watch the episodes as they come up, and they come on every Thursday.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and like the importance of Captain Pike and why the whole series is centered around him. Like
Hmm.
the first episode, you're gonna have a whole bunch of questions because you didn't watch Star Trek Discovery, but they're
Yeah.
easy questions to answer, and you can move on and enjoy them. And the importance of the black woman right there, Cadet Uhura, who was Lieutenant Uhura in the original Star Trek series, and again, she was one of the first black women on television that was treated as an equal, was not looked down upon, was an officer, and so much so that she wanted to quit the show. And Martin Luther King himself told her, "You cannot quit this show This is one of the shows my children are allowed to watch because you are on screen and you're an equal and you're an officer.
That's
So,
big. Martin Luther King telling you that you better stay on that show.
yeah. And if you don't believe me, look it up. She said that story many times in interviews. And the actress Michelle Nichols, who played Lieutenant Uhura, was massively important in getting astronauts for the NASA program. She went out to recruit people for NASA.
Wow,
So, yeah, it's
interesting.
things like that again, if you know the backstory, you're like, wow, it's so great to see this character, young as a cadet, unsure of herself and things like that, and see how the character develops into the one you see later on. But again,
Interesting.
I think you'll love it, honestly.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Like I said, I'm totally down for it. So, if it's only 5 episodes right now, then I guess yeah, I'll just have to start with one and just work my way up. So,
Yeah, and I'll answer
I
any questions you have.
yeah, I'm probably gonna text you like, Los, what does this mean? I'm not sure what's happening right now.
If
So,
we could do the first episode as a watch party, you and
mm,
I, then I could, we could pause it and I can explain it as we watch it.
I
And then
think I would
after that,
probably want to do that. Yeah, I think I would want to do that because that'll probably help me out a lot more for sure.
yeah.
Um, all right, sounds good. Sounds good. Let me see. What are my recommendations right now? I would 100% say Stranger Things. Season 4 is out right now. Are you a Stranger Things fan, Los?
No,
Have you haven't watched any of them?
no, I lived in the 80s. I don't care.
Oh, wow. He said I
I was
lived in the
alive in the
80s. I
80s.
don't care. Dude, I really do
I was
think you
around
should
their
watch
age,
it.
so I don't care.
I honestly, dude, I really do think you should watch it, man. It's a freaking good show. I freaking love the 80s vibe. I love the 80s aesthetic. Um Overall, it's just like for me, Stranger Things season 1 was great. It was epic. Season 2 was good. Season 3 was eh. It was okay. Season
I
4 is the cream of the crop. It is the best, I think. It is Stranger Things at its peak. If you were to take Goonies and Nightmare on Elm Street and It, and if you were to combine those together, you will get Stranger Things season 4. It is amazing. It's really good.
I mean, I think I'd be more into the nostalgia of the 80s than anything else. Like that first shot in the trailer you're playing, the alarm
Mm,
the grandfather clock.
yeah,
I know so many people who had their grandfather clock in their house.
really. and,
Exact same one. Yeah, I really do.
and honestly, that's one of the things about the show that I like is the '80s aesthetic. It adds a nice charm to the show. The music is just amazing, especially the music. Just like I was talking about earlier, the music in season 4 is so amazing, especially if you're somebody who loves like that '80s aesthetic, that '80s theme. You will fall in love with the show just because of the music. It's freaking amazing. They had peanut butter jars in glass, which I forgot that was a thing back in the day.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. Like, why did we have peanut butter in jars? I don't understand that in glass.
There's so like, do you remember the soda cans? You actually just might be too young to remember this. The soda cans where you would completely pull off the tab of it.
No, that was a thing.
Yeah, that was the thing. And
Like
then
you would pull out the whole top.
no, not the whole top. Like you know how you tilt the tab and it pushes the metal piece in,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Well, back in the
Oh, it
day,
would peel the whole thing off.
take it and peel the whole thing off, and then you would drink your soda.
That's weird.
You look it up, and to me, that's perfectly normal. You know,
Wow, that would be so weird. I was like, why is my whole top coming off?
yeah, look it up. You'll see that as a kid. I mean, like, there's so many things that I think nostalgia wise I'll remember, but I also think that I'll watch it and be like, that didn't come out till 2 years later. That didn't come out till like think about it.
Yeah.
You said Dead or Alive, you spin me around. I know the exact year, 85. How do I know?
Wow.
I DJ'd with it. That's how I know.
Side note, the reason why I also feel like the show has like a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street vibes. Robert England,
Is
makes a
it
special. Huh?
Robert Englund's in the trailer?
Oh, you recognized him?
Yeah.
I did not recognize him at first because he's obviously older and he has like some kind of cosmetic thing going on.
The
Robert
first
England was in here.
the first role I've ever seen Robert Englund in was in the original TV show V, and he played a character called Willie. That's
Okay.
how I knew Robert England. And then I discovered him in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Wow. Yeah, he was in this, and not really a big role, but like I thought that was a nice touch that they added Robert England in here, because without giving away too many spoilers, like the big bad guy kind of gives me like Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street vibes. So for them to add him in there, I was like, that's a nice touch. That was a really nice touch. Like I said, I'm loving the show. I'm addicted all over again. I binged it in like what 2 or 3 days. They're gonna have a part 2 of season 4 dropping next month. So season 4 is pretty epic right now. There's a lot going on. They introduce a lot of new characters. One thing I do like, going back to like the 80s, style of the show. I like that the characters, even though they're young, because they obviously weren't born in the 80s. I like how they make sure each character say certain things that are 80s reference, and it feels natural for them to say that. Like one of the girls in the show was asking a guy to say something again. He was like, "Listen, I don't understand what's going on. Be kind and rewind so I understand what you're talking about." And I was
Be kind
like,
of
that is a blockbuster reference. Like they do a lot of little nods like that in the show, and it's freaking awesome. I love it.
that was
So
the model for every rental company, because they would charge you a fee if you return the tape and you
yeah,
didn't rewind.
yeah, I love all their little nods and little references to the 80s that the characters who were not born in the 80s but they say. It's such a nice touch, and it makes it feel so authentic. And I think that's one of the things I really love about the show. Um and it's just huh?
Coca-Cola actually did. Coca-Cola actually released a 2 or 3 minute video talking about how in Stranger Things they talked about New Coke.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy some of the stuff that they have in that show. I'm like, that's still around. Like, how do they have access to some of those things from that time in the show? Like I said, the glass peanut butter jars. Where did they find that?
there are companies specifically out there that have these for props. There's a company based out of New York that literally has old phone booths, old mailboxes, old street signs, like all this stuff that you can, as a production company, you can rent, dress your set, return them. And same thing with props. And a
Wow.
lot of times these old peanut butter jars, um, they're no longer, it's the same jar and the same lid, but they're now used for different products. And so they're just like,
Oh,
oh, this company still makes that. Let's just grab that and slap a label that we print on our laser printer. And
interesting.
some that are just recreations that are just camera accurate.
Wow. Yeah, I kind of figured, I was like, there has to be a company out there that's pumping out this stuff, because some of the stuff that popped up in that show, I was like, man, I cannot believe they still have that. It's insane.
Here's
Um,
the thing though, like a lot of times I'll watch movies and I'll see these old cars and it doesn't click to me that these are old cars, because to me it's just, oh yeah, that's a Thunderbird. Oh, it's a 1987 Thunderbird.
yeah,
Yeah, so, and to me it doesn't click, you
yeah,
know? Like for me, a nostalgia car is from the 60s, from the 50s, 40s and so on, and for you a car might be nostalgic starting in the 80s.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know, for me, like a lot of those things don't click. But if a car is out of place, I'll immediately know because
Yeah.
I was alive at that time.
Other than that, Legion in chat, thanks for watching. Anybody else also in the Twitch chat, thanks for watching this live. Anybody's watching us on the YouTubes, don't forget, guys, leave comments, man. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think of this PlayStation State of Play? Same thing on the audio side of things. Let us know what you guys think of the show. We're going to get ready to get out of here, and we appreciate you guys. We will catch you later.